Hello again, everyone. It's Eric Hale, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, everybody, to the BPM Online version 7.13 update. As I had mentioned, my name is Eric Hale, and I am an enterprise account executive with BPM Online. Today, I am joined by Andy Sutherland, who is one of our enterprise solution managers, as well as senior sales engineer Alex Petronenko. So before we get started, I just wanted to thank all of our existing customers and partners for joining the call today, and also welcome any new customers or partners that may not be familiar with BPM Online as of yet. So that being said, before we jump into the 7.13 updates, I'd like to just give a quick overview of BPM Online and the platform. So BPM Online is a global company. We are headquartered here in Boston, Massachusetts in the US. We also have sales operations across the globe in the locations that you can see here on the left-hand side of the screen. We have over 500 system integrators and consultants within our partner network, and we also have 650 employees. An interesting fact about that number is that almost half of those employees are dedicated to the research and development of our platform. So as we look at business today and in talking with our customers, we always ask the question, does enterprise software meet business expectations today? So in a recent survey from Fortune, 72% of the Fortune 500 companies feel that technology is actually limiting their growth. So we've asked ourselves, why is that? And, we've worked with our customers, we've worked with our partners, we've talked to analysts, and we've come up with four different categories that, really transfer across multiple organizations. So first being, one, the ability to adapt to change quickly. And then alignment between different applications is causing siloed data across multiple organizations. The third area is user adoption. User adoption still remains one of the top three items that cause business applications to fail. And then there is a long and painful implementation process associated with deploying enterprise software. So at BPM Online, we feel to answer that, we have combined both business process management as well as customer relationship management all on a single platform to help accelerate business transformation. And when we talk about business transformation, we think of it as a cycle. And how do we get our customers through that cycle quickly? So from our perspective, we look to accelerate implementation, utilizing a lot of out-of-the-box capabilities and templates. We accelerate user adoption by having a very user-friendly interface that will allow users to navigate the system very quickly. From an alignment perspective, we have a single platform that will align your people, processes, and applications across your entire organization. And then finally, the ability to adapt to change quickly, we accommodate with a low-code, agile platform to create business applications and processes. So our company, as well as our product, have been recognized by leading analysts at Gartner. Most recently, we were named as the only challenger in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for Salesforce automation. We've also been recognized in multiple other categories, including CRM lead management, customer engagement center, business process management, and platform as a service. We've also received quite a bit of recognition from the folks at Forrester, including being named to the Forrester Wave CRM suites, as well as lead to revenue management, Salesforce automation, customer service solution for mid-sized teams, as well as cloud-based dynamic case management. We also have been recognized in three categories this year for the CRM Market Awards, Enterprise CRM, Mid-Market CRM, and Salesforce Automation. But the thing that we pride ourselves most on, beyond recognition, is really the thousands of customers that have chosen BPM Online as their provider to help them through business transformation. So, kind of what makes us different, we know that you can't have exceptional customer relationships without powerful business processes. And that's really why the unique combination of business process management and CRM on a single platform will help you through business transformation. So, we're going to move on into the capabilities of 7.13, but I just wanted to encourage everybody on the call to submit any questions that you have in regards to the enhancements through the question bar within the tool. So let's get right into it. This is what we're all here for, right? We're going to be talking about new capabilities within our marketing, service, and sales applications, as well as talking about enhancements to operations as well as citizen development. So we're going to kick it off with marketing. We are thrilled to announce some key updates for BPM Online marketing. In this release, we are launching enhancements to campaign management capabilities. So Andy, could you walk us through some of those enhancements to the marketing application?
Absolutely, Eric. To start with, we've added a new triggered adding element to launch campaigns through trigger events. As an example, we may use a trigger to send an automated email to registered users of an event, but only once they've paid their registration fee. So what this allows marketers to do is to create specific triggers or reasons and different changes in a user status before entering them into the campaign. And it just provides with a little bit more flexibility now within BPM Online and specifically the marketing engine for doing more advanced campaign management.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Are there any other updates that would affect marketers?
There is. Another highly demanded feature has been an upgraded campaign page layout. So as hopefully the audience can see here on the screen, we're now providing some better key indicators of where participants have landed throughout that process so that we can see how conversion rates are coming on a live basis throughout that particular campaign. So we think this will really help to speed up some of the visibility and seeing some of the key metrics for marketers.
Yeah, that's perfect. Have there been any updates to our email marketing capabilities?
There have. A lot of it comes around personalization, which is where we've tried to make a number of improvements in this particular release. One of those personalization capabilities now is the ability to utilize macros in the email subject so that we can try to create better personalization for users and prospects that are seeing our emails in an effort to try and increase click rates. We've also improved some of the email restriction capabilities. So those restrictions can now be based upon the email category or type, which now provides more flexibility in defining communication rules with our prospects and customers. So as an example, that may be now the ability to define the number of emails that are sent over a particular time period to that contact. And so we can help to ensure that we've got better rules and better processes around how we're going to communicate with our user base to make sure that our communication needs are also meeting their desires.
Excellent. So, for any of the email marketers that we might have in the audience, are there any updates that, also would be interesting to them?
I think so. Similar to the personalization with now the ability to utilize macros in the email subject, we've also added some all-new tools for the customization of text that's displayed to the recipient in their preview panel. So again, this way we can personalize that message and have visibility into what it's going to look like in participants or prospects' inboxes. And again, in an effort to try to personalize or make that a more compelling message and to help to try and increase those click rates for the emails going out. Another update was made to the content designer tool, where, as you can see on the screen, previously, if we wanted to do some specific HTML formatting with the various templates, we would need to go into the actual HTML code to make some of those. What we've done now is try to make that a little easier for some of the perhaps more non-technical users out there within marketing, so that we can do it straight from the BPM Online panel, and then that will help us to better format the email messages and templates that are going to be going out. And similarly, along the lines of more email enhancements, we've created some new tools for testing emails. So now we have the ability for marketers to make sure that all of the emails affiliated with a particular campaign can go out to internal stakeholders and participants for proofreading, for message review, et cetera, so that they can really make sure before that campaign ever starts that everything is really looking good for trying to access and try to develop new prospects into new customers.
Yeah, that's those are great updates to the platform. Does our marketplace offer any new tools for marketing?
Absolutely. We definitely continue to strive with our partner base, with third parties, to really increase our family of marketplace apps and templates. So a few key ones I think to talk about in this particular release. One of those is we continue to expand our list of supported email marketing providers. So we have a new .mailer connector. So .mailer is now another one of the world's most popular email marketing providers. And one of our partners in the UK, Agovo, was nice enough to create an integration there and a connector. So now we have additional options in terms of the service providers that our customers want to use. We also have another one that I think will make it easier for marketers and marketing organizations to utilize landing pages, where now we have an integration that was developed by a partner, Flexcentric, that will allow us to utilize and integrate directly with WordPress landing pages. So there's more options now for website design, website packages, and obviously different types of landing pages.
Excellent. It's great to see our partners really coming up with some innovative ideas and putting them out there on the marketplace. Are there any other apps or connectors that we have on the marketplace that marketers might benefit from?
I definitely think there's another one of note, and that's an integration with Kickfire. What this allows our marketing constituents to do is to utilize new capabilities through Kickfire for website visitors that are coming in anonymously. What this will help us to do is track the IP address and tie it back into the account that email is, or that the address is coming from, so that maybe while we don't have a specific contact name, we can still gather important data about potential prospects coming in so that we can gain more marketing insights and do our best to try to find new ways to interact with them to bring them on as a named prospect in the future.
Excellent, excellent. So as I was reading through the release updates, Andy, one of the areas that I was particularly looking forward to discussing on this call today was our capabilities surrounding account-based marketing in BPM Online. Could you talk to the folks a little bit about what's been updated from that perspective?
Sure. I can talk a little bit about account-based marketing, but I'll probably change it a little bit more to person-based marketing, because I think that's one of the unique features around this latest integration. So with our partner Influ2, we've created the ability to do account-based marketing, but to take it a step beyond, where not only are we looking at any contact within an organization that we're interfacing with and in an account that we're trying to get some penetration, but we can actually understand exactly the individuals within that organization that we're interacting with, so that we can try to create more personalized content to deliver to the right stakeholders and key influencers that we really want to reach within an organization. So I think overall, we've definitely, through Marketplace and with a few enhancements to the tool, made the marketing engine within BPM Online even more powerful to help with ongoing campaigns and lead generation for our customer base today.
Excellent. Yeah, and we really appreciate those updates, Andy. And you can obviously see how these enhancements are going to help marketers, gain more leads and actually move those leads, through the cycle and into actual opportunities. So I appreciate that. And guys on the phone, please don't forget, if you have any questions, submit those through the tool. So we are going to be moving on to our sales portion of the discussion. And Alex, what do you feel are the the highlights of the updates for our sales product?
Well, Eric, there's a lot that we have released, focusing on different areas of the of the sales product. But one of the biggest things that I believe is going to be very important for the sales managers and for the sales reps is the ability to now have the predictive scoring being applied to the opportunity, just so that they can actually focus on the key deals that have been predicted through our machine learning capabilities, based on some historic data that we store in the application.
Excellent. It's always good to see the research and development team continuously, providing enhancements and expanding our intelligent capabilities. What are some of the other updates that sales reps can benefit from in this release?
Sure. Well, the other thing that we have released as well is a throughout pipeline that is going to be combining not only the opportunity stages, but as well the lead stages into one, meaning that if previously we had the ability to analyze the conversion rates of lead through their stages, right, and opportunity through their stages, now the sales managers can actually see how the leads have been converting within the stages in themselves, and then throughout to the opportunity closure. So have a better visibility of how the different deals and leads are moving from one stage to another, based on timely period, based on overall pipeline status that has been ever created in the application.
Excellent, excellent. So, from a sales standpoint, sales rep productivity is always, important to any sales organization. Are there any new features that are going to help accelerate sales reps' productivity?
Absolutely, and this is probably where we're going to be talking more about the marketplace add-ons that we have available. Where first of all, the opportunity completeness add-on allows the system administrators and business analysts to find custom opportunity profile scoring, just so that the sales reps are always up to date whether they have gathered all of the required information on on the opportunity profile. If they've got all the competitors listed, decision-making roles, the budget, whether they expect to have the opportunity close, so on and so forth, right? And of course, in this case, the companies can focus on those metrics and those data points that are crucial for them. And of course, in addition to that, I would say that the file manager extension is also going to be very helpful for them, because it removes the the unnecessary navigation throughout multiple applications when the sales rep needs to complete routine file management actions, such as previewing files and archiving, unarchiving them, as well as just storing the documents. So it kind of saves a lot of time for them, and again, provides them with a single ecosystem working throughout the day.
Excellent. Yeah, and just from a marketplace perspective, I keep seeing a lot of new connectors and out-of-the-box integrations being added to the marketplace. Is there any notable integrations that help sales organizations streamline their processes?
Oh, absolutely. Integrations are being added to our marketplace offering daily with various and different applications, right? Those that I could point out that were added recently would be probably the earweave connectors. One of them for the e-commerce gateway, kind of connecting bpm'online to the providers and merchants' websites, to the collecting the payments and so on. And for the same vendor as well, the payment gateway integration, which allows collecting the payments from customers and displaying them in bpm'online throughout multiple different payment providers, such as Authorized Net, Transfers, PayPal, of course, iCash, and many others. So that's connecting bpm'online to the e-commerce solutions. And if we were kind of talking about order management in general, we of course have great extensions that support that. For example, the FedEx integration that allows the sales rep to actually create shipping slips directly from bpm'online after verifying the address using FedEx's database. As you know, it's one of the largest shipping providers. And of course, the integration with ERP solution has always been big in the CRM world. And now our great partner Evokia have delivered an integration with ExactOnline, a very popular ERP in Europe, which I'm pretty sure that our audience recognizes here.
I'm sure. Excellent. Well, I hope everybody in the audience is excited as I am about these updates. Andy, I know you and I just talked to an e-commerce customer last week, and some of these updates would be right within their wheelhouse. So I'm excited to get on our next call with these guys and talk through some of these things.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we are going to be taking a brief poll here. So if you have your up on your screen, we have a quick question. So have you encountered any issues with your siloed data that affects your sales processes? If you could provide some responses to that, we will give you some time to do that. And while we're doing that, why don't we take a few of the questions from the feed? Excellent. So first question that we have, are we getting a copy of this presentation at the end of the webinar? The answer is yes. Recording link will be sent out to everybody that has been registered. Okay. And okay, so we've got another one here. So we are looking for a CRM for sales automation. Can we integrate your product with our internal communication tools, such as Slack, for an example?
Yeah, Eric, I can take that.
Yep.
Well, actually, we do have integration with Slack available through our marketplace, which actually connects our feed and our internal social network to the Slack channels, just so that the users can have those messages synchronized both ways, right? And kind of allows them to use the tools that they're already used to use, but still keep the conversation, keep the discussions attached to those opportunities and to those feed channels.
Excellent. Yeah. So it looks like the polls are still coming in. All right. So, all right, here we go. So we've got our results. 13% have answered yes always, 37% yes often, 31% rarely, 8% hardly ever, and then 12% no never. So we've kind of got a mix, but it looks like, right there in the yes often and in rarely categories, our organizations are running into, this scenario. So I know that, we run into it with a lot of our discussions with customers.
Yeah, and I don't know if when Eric threw up the poll, if people could hear the sirens in the background, but siloed data can be a challenge.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I think when you've got data siloed in different areas and then you're trying to create and have new business processes across multiple areas of the organization, it makes it much more difficult to make adjustments into those particular processes and generally adds more development time and implementation that's got to happen as we start to try to upgrade. So the ability to try and unsilo some of that data and make it readily available across the organization, obviously we think is a big benefit.
Excellent. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Andy. All right, so moving along, we are now going to check out the new updates we've made to bpm'online service. So Andy, I think this is your section here. So are there any updates to, let's say, the case management capabilities in bpm'online?
There are, Eric, and I think where personalization was a key area in marketing that we were trying to help address a little bit more, what we're trying to address more in this particular 7.13 release for service and the service organization is the ability to more readily and quickly come up to speed on a case's history so that we can have our support engineers and technicians maximizing their opportunity for more customer interaction and minimizing time where the customer is stuck waiting. So some of the things that we've done are now in the particular case, all records are shown without a vertical scroll bar. We've taken those longer and lengthier email communications that are part of the overall case, and we're now collapsing those into a smaller record. Now, you could still click on a button for show more in order to expand that and get the full view, but at least now you can get a quick summary to really remind yourself of where you were in the case. In addition, users can preview images that have been attached to portal messages and emails. So now we have ability to quickly preview thumbnails of some attachments that have come in. And all of this really helps to result in the ability to review these cases faster and easier for the support technicians to try and reduce some of those response KPIs and ultimately, hopefully for all of you, result in a better level of customer service and a happier customer base.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's,
And another is, sorry.
That's all right. Want to make sure we get them all in here.
But another one I think that'll help a lot is as emails are coming in, oftentimes we'll find that there might be multiple challenges or problems that are coming in from a customer. So in an effort to try to speed up new case creation, what we could do is now directly from that email record, we can select a bit of text and use that to create a new case. So in this manner, we can have the master case coming in and very quickly assign additional subcases to the proper internal resources that are the best suited to then add their support capabilities to the bits of to the case and the issue that the customer is having. So again, overall, really within service and in managing cases, we're trying to result in that ability to review them faster and make it easier for interaction with the customers.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think you touched upon it earlier, Andy, is increasing that customer satisfaction, but also making it easy for support representatives to navigate through the system, right? And it really affects those KPIs, that you mentioned, something like reducing average handle time. Obviously has a huge impact to service organizations. So one of the challenges that I see when I speak to customers is that many of them have large distributed service organizations. Are there any new features for organizations like that may have a global service presence?
Yes. So as we know, with support organizations going more global, needing to have 24/7 support around the world, a lot of that requires localized content and localized support individuals. So where we've tried to make a significant enhancement from that perspective in the product is that now our content designer for the design of the emails that may go out, so for automated responses, or also just for email communication between the support rep and the end customer, we now have the ability for sending multilingual email notifications. So that based upon the language settings for the default mailbox where these emails are being sent from, we can use that to dynamically change the template into the localized language that's been assigned.
Excellent. So, from our marketplace standpoint, do we have any updates from a service management perspective?
So tying in with customer satisfaction, NPS, and trying to track how our service organization is best servicing our customer base, 7.13 is introducing a new add-on for conducting surveys. So we can utilize survey questions in their preparation and then in actually storing the customer interview results into bpm'online so that you can use this as a direct feed within the tool to provide live KPI indicators coming back from the customers in terms of their customer satisfaction levels around the case management. So we think that this is going to be another good feature for really trying to help store historical NPS style information that we can use in how we're interfacing with our customers.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and we appreciate these updates, Andy, and hopefully everybody on the call is kind of recognizing how these enhancements are really going to help service organizations. I think I was just reading in a recent survey that 86% of customers will leave your brand after one bad service experience. So, very important to make sure that, your service organization is up to par. So we're going to be moving on from service, but again, I just wanted to encourage everybody, if you have any questions in regards to the updates to the service product, please submit those through the questions tab and we'll get them answered for you. Excellent. So moving on to our operations portion of the discussion, Andy, I believe you'll be giving us these updates as well. So are there any updates aimed at helping users simplify their work with complex projects?
What we've done in this release is to try to find a number of operations within the tool, again, to help with customer ease and experience, or rather user ease and experience. What we've done around project management is we've noticed that there can often be a number of repetitive type projects within an organization, such as, say, a product release. And within that project, there will be a number of associated tasks along with it. So one of the things that we've done from an operation perspective is we've made it much easier now to copy not just the project and its description and attributes at a high level, but also all of those connected tasks that are going along with it. So if we've got this repetitive release process, all I have to do is copy and create a new one, and I will be able to follow the exact same process, or at least use that as a basis for additional changes as we try to make some improvements. What we've also done is implemented the copying not just of email templates, but then also all of the multilingual associations that it has as well. So if I've got my email template in English and French and German and Spanish, just as a few examples, I'm sure there's more. But now when I copy that email to try to use that as a basis for making further edits, all those languages are going to come across with it.
Excellent. So are there any other features that have been added that will help users simplify their day-to-day work within the system?
All right, here comes a mouthful, so get ready.
All right.
So first off, when we talk about the data indexing within bpm'online, we've made some adjustments. So now anytime data is being entered into bpm'online, it is being immediately indexed and becomes available through the global search function. So this may be especially important in maybe going back to the customer service case where I need to do a quick lookup on a phone number or someone's name to try to quickly gain access to their account values. Well, now, even if that was a new lead or some new interaction where the data is just coming into the system, that global search is going to work right off the bat to make it much faster and easier to get to the relevant records. We've added some additional tools for working with folders and filters in terms of maybe customer segmentation or just data segmentation in regards to the various sections. You can now very quickly and easily convert dynamic folders to static and save all of those records from the converted folder. So that way we can dynamically create all the content for a static folder without having to do all of the drag and drops. Within the timeline section of records, we've now tried to make this much more readily available for getting up to speed quickly for whichever user needs to see what's going on with the record to try to provide faster view for getting historical customer information. Very similar to what we talked about earlier with the case. So what we've done is now timeline is going to have records added to that, and you'll be able to see those automatically without the need to refresh the page. You can apply different filters to the types of data that are stored within the timeline section. So now we don't have to dig as deep in order to create the filters. It's simple checkboxes, as you can see up here on the screen. We're doing the same things where we're taking larger records and collapsing those into a smaller format to make it easier to skim all the high-level information. We're showing some of the smaller records, and documents are now a new area that can be shown within that timeline section. So again, really trying to help our users reduce the time needed to review the customer interaction so that I can minimize the time for responding into my prospect or customer base. We've made some additional improvements as well to the text formatting capabilities within the notes and the email section, so that this now allows us to fine-tune how we want some of the data to best appear for digestion internally in the organization. So as you can see up here on the screen, one example is we can now create table-like formats if that's the kind of data that we want to share internally in the notes section. It just provides a lot more flexibility with how we want to share internal and important information around our users, customers, accounts, any sort of record of note. And finally, and one that I think is very important for any of our customers out there that have a mobile sales or a mobile service force, within the mobile app, previously we could show dashboards, but you really could only view that data at a high level. Now, similar to what we've done with the HTML tool and using more of the desktop type application, we can also now drill in on those particular dashboards to get a much better visibility into what records are constituting that data, or if we want to do some of that additional dissection just like you could in the main application. So this is where we're really trying to obviously make things easier and provide one of our hallmarks of consistent user experience regardless of what kind of device the user is using. I think it's some key importance.
Absolutely. Yeah, you had me at mobile dashboard. Well, it's really great. You can see how tools like this actually help users make the right business decisions, but also it really helps with user adoption as well. So another quick question for you, Andy. What has been added to version 7.13 for system administrators?
We've also tried to make some improvements from an administrative perspective, for sure. Some key ones there are improved deduplication tools in order to help continue to ensure that our customers are working with clean and usable data in the tool. We've also enhanced some of the capabilities for data importing from external systems, so that now, in addition to some of the standard features that we had, you can also now specify values for Boolean fields. This may be very important if we're integrating with additional marketing platforms that are storing user preferences. So now I can take things like, do not use email or whatever my communication preferences are, and I can easily import those and now store those same customer preferences within bpm'online. We've also added the ability to integrate bpm'online with third-party apps in an automated two-way contact sync in real time. So we can now integrate additional third parties into our standard business processes that we're creating within bpm'online and make sure that we have instant two-way access to data to both grab, obviously, and post it to that other application.
Excellent, excellent. So I know that one of the particular challenges that might be of a lot of interest to the folks on the call, this call in particular, since this May, GDPR has become effective. What does bpm'online offer to help organizations stay compliant with GDPR requirements?
Well, through Marketplace, we've added a GDPR plugin that allows us to track the user preferences, permissions, and restrictions of how organizations can utilize their personal data, so that we can help to determine as an organization how to interact with these contacts based upon their wishes and permissions, and to do so while remaining in compliance with the regulations. So we definitely are storing additional information in our effort to help make sure that we're tracking some of that data or the permissions that are necessary per those GDPR compliance regulations.
Excellent. Well, appreciate the updates, Andy. This is really, great enhancements that will make a lot of people's lives a lot easier. So we're going to be moving on to our last section of the updates. But again, I just wanted to encourage everybody to list any questions within the questions tab if you have anything from an operations standpoint. All right, so we are moving into our citizen development discussion, and we're going to be talking with Alex. So, Alex, I know that our research and development team is, always adding some new intelligent capabilities to each release of bpm'online. What additional artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities do we have in 7.13?
Well, Eric, I'm glad to announce that now machine learning capabilities do not require any development whatsoever, which is a big thing for our customers, because of previously they actually needed to involve certain developers or data scientists to create those machine learning models to predict data. Now they can actually do this only through their business analyst resources, which is a huge thing in our approach to low-code, approaching no-code application design. And of course, this is also supported by the fact that we can now as well predict certain numeric field values. For example, defining and predicting such values as where we're going to close the opportunity, or how many days we need to resolve a case, or convert a lead to an opportunity. So those are very great and cool features that we've added to the machine learning capabilities of bpm'online.
Yeah, definitely cool. Especially as you see, more and more companies starting to embrace citizen development technology. So, even a non-technical user can be empowered by low-code development tools to create and modify business applications, pretty efficiently. So, the bpm'online platform offers, powerful capabilities to accelerate citizen development. Could you tell me about the enhancements we've made to these capabilities of the platform?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So one of the major updates that we did in regards to decision development is as well covering the design of the business processes. Where first of all, we have introduced a new element for the process design for a reusing of the machine learning model, which means that now we can actually as well predict and repredict data throughout the dynamic process execution, right, at any stage of, for example, lead management process or opportunity management process. So that's pretty big.
Yep.
And of course, in addition to that, now when configuring, pre-configured pages, we as well have the ability to specify specific data sources for the records that are going to be displayed on the pre-configured page, and as well update those records within those pages as well. So it kind of reduces the number of elements that are needed in the design of the process, and saves a lot of time for the analysts.
Got it. Has there been any improvements to building integrations?
Oh yeah, absolutely. A few things that we've added in regards to building the integrations is that, well, first of all, now in order to configure an integration, the business analysts don't actually need to specify the addresses for each of the web services methods that they want to use. They can just throw out the whole address into the address line for the web service, and the system will actually recognize this itself. And of course, in addition to that, in order to parse the response request parameters from the web service, they only need to have a sample of the API call available, and then just the system will recognize all of those itself. So the analysts actually now spend less time configuring integrations that they've ever used before, right? So we switch from having to build integrations to then actually having that available as business analyst level functionality, and now it's even easier than it was before. So again, great stuff in this case, and of course the web services integration as well supports OS 2.0 implementation, which is a very commonly recognized method of building integration and authentication across the internet.
Perfect. So from a user experience perspective, what improvements have been added that will help citizen developers kind of streamline their work? Well,
we not only focus the user experience as the end user experience, but as well how easy it is to design our application. And a few things that we've released in this manner is basically having some pre-configured layouts and minimaps available, and as well the way that the business analysts are building the application when working with our section wizard tool. So if previously we had 4 major areas or 5 major areas for designing the application, now we've kind of combined them into categories. First, there's the UI that the analysts are working with, then there's the cases and the processes. We'll talk about the UI changes because each section might have multiple added pages available and different quick views and different quick add pages. They first focus on actually building each separate page, those business rules that are going to be applied to those pages, and if needed, even access the source code. And then once they've done with the UI, the data model definition, they can actually switch back to the section wizard and carry on with the case and process design. And another big thing that was well added through our marketplace offering provided by our amazing partner ATF is the ability to have a preview for our analytics and dashboards within the design mode. So instead of switching from the end user view to the edit mode, the users can actually see how the dashboard is going to be looking while they're still in the edit mode, which again saves a bunch of time and simplifies the effort of creating those.
Excellent. So, last question for you, Alex. Has there been any updates to the architecture of the solution?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, we have released the support for PostgreSQL, which is going to be very important for our customers who are looking for an on-prem deployment and those that actually want to scale really quickly and without having the need to have additional licensing involved from third-party applications. And I would say that the other thing is, again, having a fail-safe for this service configuration is also going to be pretty big for our customers because the applications are going to be more reliable, fail-safe, and scalable in general.
Excellent. Well, we really appreciate those updates, Alex. So that brings us to the end of our list of enhancements and what's being added in for release 7.13. So, hopefully everybody on the call, one of the key focuses of the 7.13 release is really to provide users with extended capabilities and even more out-of-the-box connectors and processes to speed up implementation and integration of BPM Online into the ecosystem of any organization. Just wanted to point out that you can explore these capabilities that we've just listed out with you by going out to bpm'online.com and initiating the 14-day free trial. I encourage everybody to get out there and take a look at that. So we will be actually wrapping up, but if you could help us out with a quick polling question. This will help us, design these release announcements going forward. So, was the webinar interesting and useful for you? And while you are answering that polling question, we can take a few more Q&A, as well as if we run out of time, we'll be sure to get your questions answered. So the first question that we'll take is, what's the cycle development time for BPM Online on the average, new implementation or integrating into an existing database? Alex, you want to take that one?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I would say that every integration and every implementation is unique in its own way, and it's very difficult to give a standardized estimation. But I can say that, unlike our competitors, integrating and building and implementing BPM Online into business is a lot faster than any of our competitors or other applications out there, because of the unique approach that we take in providing not just the out-of-the-box functionality and integration, but as well the tools to create that functionality and build those integrations themselves. So I can't give you an estimate on the time frame, but I can say that it will be a lot faster and easier.
Excellent. Okay, so we also have another question here. Do you have a connector with Gmail to archive in Gmail inbox emails marked as processed in BPM?
Eric, we do have a marketplace integration with the Gmail suite, so we do have the ability to integrate with that and utilize Gmail as your mailbox of choice for sending in, receiving, and syncing up the emails into BPM Online.
Excellent. Perfect. All right. So we have another question here. Is the artificial intelligence component in BPM Online sold for an extra fee?
We are happy to report that it is not. So the artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities of BPM Online are a standard part of the core product, so are available to any and all customers to integrate with your particular dynamic cases and processes.
Excellent, perfect. And do we got time for one more here? Yeah, absolutely. So next question is Exact Online Connector available for all BPM Online sales editions? I'm going to repeat it.
Sure.
Is the Exact Online Connector available for all BPM Online sales editions?
Well, I would say that it should be available for most of our editions, but again, we would encourage all of our customers to go to the marketplace and read the full description as well as the compatibility with BPM Online products.
Excellent. All right. Well, if we didn't get to your question, be rest assured that we will do our best to answer all of the questions that came in via the question tab. So again, please, everybody, go out to bpm'online.com and register for the 14-day free trial so you can experience these enhancements for yourself. Thank you again for joining, and have a great rest of your day.